Good evening, everybody. I just got home from work and I've been having a lot of thoughts in my mind about everything that's going on with the riots and all of that. So I'm not really a person to really go onto social media and post videos. Actually, this is my first video on YouTube, but I wanted to talk to people about the riots and what's going on. First, I want to say that it's really sad that during this time and this age that we're still experiencing things like this in America. However, it happens. It's been happening for years. This is not the first time, and it's definitely not going to be the last. However, I do understand that we as people, we want to be heard. We want it to stop. We want every man, Hispanic, Black, or white, to be treated as equal. And we know in this country that hasn't been what has happened in the past, and still currently today we're still dealing with these issues. The problem is being able to have a conversation about it and to respect everyone's opinion regardless of whether you agree with their opinion or not. And we're all not going to agree, but at least if we can have an open discussion about these things and talk about it with respect, then we can change these things. It wasn't right that this officer heard this man say that he could not breathe and he did not let up, with his knee being across his neck. Or the shin of his leg being across his neck. Is inhumane. This does need to stop. We do understand that there are some situations and some people that the police have to be aggressive with because they want to go home at night, and this is a two-way street. It's not one-sided. One of the things that needs to happen is our justice system doing police academy and training need to screen these guys to see what type of experiences they've had, to find their true feelings about, dealing with people of other backgrounds. And in that training process, there needs to be something that helps them to be able to go out here and deal with people that they may have issues with, or be able to discuss the personal issues that they've had with people of other races so that they can understand how not to take that to the street when they're dealing with people of that background. I think it needs to be something that's mandated and mandatory during police training. But the thing that I want to say to the people that are rioting over this, your voice needs to be heard. Your voice will be heard, but this is not the way to do it. Going out and destroying businesses, looting, hurting innocent people, ruining people's livelihood, all over this situation. You have to ask yourself, what is it really about? Is it about me being able to go in and break into a business and steal things and rob somebody and using this man's life as an excuse to do so? Or are you really concerned about changing the laws so that this type of thing will not continue to happen to people of color? If that's what it's about, use your intelligence, use your voice to be heard. Go to the courthouse, go to your governor's office and protest and let your voice be heard. Use signs. When you go out here and you act like animals like this, it will cause some people to look at it like, see, this is why we have to use aggression with people like this. And it makes them feel like they're justified in having that type of aggression when they deal with people. So we have to take another approach. This is not it. And if Dr. Martin Luther King, in his protest and his fight for freedom for all mankind to be treated equal, was not just for Black people, was not just for Hispanic people, it was for all people. And in his protest, he prided himself on peaceful protesting, because one thing you have to remember is, if you are upset at this officer for his conduct and him not having the decency to care about another human life, but then you go out here and you loot businesses, start fires, throw rocks through businesses and go in and rob and steal, your character is no better than his. So in order to change things, we need to think about that, because you're committing crime against innocent people that had nothing to do with what happened, in that state. And you're going out here hurting innocent people and jeopardizing people's livelihood. So that makes you of no better character than him. And this is why Dr. Martin Luther King talked more about protesting peacefully. So what we need to do is fight with our mind, fight with our words, and protest peacefully to stop innocent people from getting hurt. And I guarantee you this man would not want this to be happening in his name. If we're gonna fight for him, and if it's really about him, use your intelligence, use your words, you know, take it to the governor's office, take it to the police department, protest peacefully and not in this kind of way. I know there are good officers, there are bad officers, and at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And I'm not excusing this behavior because it is unacceptable, but let him have his day in court, and let's see, and let's go protest and talk about it. Take it to the public, and to the people that can do something about it, and let them know that we're not going to accept this. We're not going to continue to tolerate this, but we want to do it in a way that does not align with having bad character, just like the judgment of this man. We don't want to do that because it's not going to solve the issue. So I am, whoever this video reaches, pleading with you to do it another way. You know, take Dr. Martin Luther King's route in protesting against things that we're not happy with. You know, and at the end of the day, everyone gets to go home, you know, safe and sound. Your voice is being heard, and we'll continue to keep demanding that it be heard and that we value lives of those of all colors. That's it. So I hope you guys get something from this. I hope it helps someone, you know, understand that this is not the way to go. But I do understand the cause. So have a good night, everyone. Stay safe and be blessed. And let's just do better as a country all together. Goodbye.